I want to take a couple of questions. We've got a mic back there. All right, tell us your name and what you sell.
Awesome.
What you
What's
do.
up, Russell and Jeremy? I sell Gen Z coaching, remote sales, how to get in remote sales. If you were trying to help those guys who are lost, fatherless, how would you frame their internal beliefs and set them up for the offer, for the pitch to connect with that specific Gen Z man that's like lost?
Where most of these people come, like where are they, when they're coming to your webinar, your presentation, whatever, like where are they at in their life at that point? Are they in college? Are they dropouts? Are they school?
Most of them are starting college. You know, they're told they need to go to college, get a good job, get a safe job, and they're afraid to make the jump. They're afraid of what other people think of them. They haven't found their identity yet. You know, they see all these hypey offers, you know, these drop shipping, crypto, all this stuff. So they've been let down a lot because they've bought these courses and haven't gotten the results yet.
How many of those offers did you go through as you were on your way?
A lot.
I mean, the reality is you're coming back to, you're finding where you're at, right? So it's not like there's a magic trick other than just the empathy of what they went through. And so for you, it's like, and I'd even show, like, if you have receipts of the stuff, like I spent $397 on this course over here, went through it, nothing. And tried this over here, tried this over here, tried this, you know, like, and you're showing the same path that they're on right now. And then what people were looking for is hope, right? So it's like, I was stuck, I was frustrated, things like that. Like, but then like whatever your breakthrough was, like you're sharing that breakthrough. And then on the other side of that, like, this was looking like, right? This is what life looks like now on this side of it. And then you got to paint a picture of that, right? So with you, you're saying that a lot of these guys, you're saying they don't have fathers, or their fathers aren't present in their life, or what was
most of the time they don't have strong father figures that kind of can help guide them and lead them.
And you're talking about like on a webinar?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say you have 1,000 people on there. It's just how you when they're on there, like, okay, you guys are all high level. I mean, you guys are smart. I mean, you wouldn't be on here, like, and as a smart, do you say Gen Z? Is it just marketed as a Gen Z thing? I don't know.
I do market Gen Z, yeah.
Okay, so you could even go that. I mean, if there's a bunch of other people and like millennials and stuff, you wouldn't want to say this, but if it's all Gen Z, like, hey, I mean, you guys are smart. I mean, you guys are Gen Z. You're the generation that's smart, and you're the generation that knows, because you're smart, because you're high level, that the greatest way to have wealth is obviously, I mean, not to go to college, because look what happened with your parents that might have went to college. But the smartest way, as you know, as an entrepreneur, is to learn XYZ and to be able to start your own business and to have time freedom. I mean, you'd be surprised, you guys are different. I mean, you're not like all the other average people out there that think that, they're going to get rich by going to school, spending a couple of $100,000. So I can start framing that as I go throughout the car. There's a lot more to there, but you can start framing them in. I always say, like, I hate when salespeople, like, it always drove me nuts when I was in sales, and people are like, oh, my leads aren't qualified, or like, my leads just, I'm trying to qualify my leads. I'm like, stop qualifying the damn leads. Build them into the person, build them into the identity of the person who is qualified to buy. Unless you're selling a $10 million offer to a homeless person, they can probably find the funding. It's not like the money doesn't exist. It's just a priority of where they're currently spending that money. And until you learn that, it's going to remain a priority of where they're currently spending it, rather than getting them over here where they feel like whatever you're offering is more of a priority for that money. So it's just building them into the identity of the person who becomes the buyer. That's all you have to do. Stop the qualify. I don't like the qualifying thing. I think anybody that shows up is qualified. They can find the funding if you build them into that identity of the person who goes out and finds the funding.
And you think about the whole life, they've heard the opposite, right? And so they've heard that they're not good enough, they're not smart enough, you drop out of school. It's like, that's the message they've heard, and they don't like it, they're rejecting it. So you're coming in as a separate voice. It's Kennedy talked about this in Funnel Hacking Live 2 years ago. He said, he's like, in every room, he's like, you look at it, there's a room of people and they're following somebody listening. He's like, in every room, there's like a third of the people that are cool with the status quo, they love it, they believe it's correct. There's a third that's like, they're okay, but they're too lazy to do anything. You say there's a third of the room, in any room, that know that something's not right. They know this is not the way things are supposed to be. There's no other option. And he said they're literally waiting for the heretic to arrive. That's what Dan says. I love when he said that, because like, that's what we're waiting for. They're waiting for someone to step up and be like, no, you're not wrong. This is not your fault. This is something else, right? And I think that's all the message, or all the identity stuff you talked about there, right? Like, you're coming in like, you're the smart generation. You're not the dumb ones. You're not, like again,
because you're not like everybody else that's not here. It's like, this room is different. It's your, and look, a lot of people are like, well, this is manipulated. No, I'm doing this for them.
Yeah.
Because I learned this from Tony. I think he's one of the greatest. Like, if Tony like couldn't get them out of their limiting beliefs, they would never change. Like everything would be the same for them. So you're doing it for them. These skill sets Russell's talking about, like these are things you do for people to help them overcome these stories or limiting beliefs that have held them back. They've already done that. So if you buy into their story about why they can't buy, you're not offering them any value. You've wasted their time. So it's like you're doing this for them. It's like a patient. Like, I went to school to become a psychologist. And you're taught, let's say if somebody wants to end their life. Well, if I don't learn techniques or how to emotionally connect with them to take them out of those belief systems, they might actually follow through and do that. If I just tell them why they shouldn't, that goes in one ear out the other. If I try to persuade them. So that's where I have to reverse engineer and get them out of that identity into the identity of the person that would never want to do that. So it's the same concept, because if you don't sell to them, you're not solving their problems. You're not really helping them get where they want. Let's take one or two more questions. Who else we got here? Yeah.
So I'm an owner of an event called Halloween Town. And so I've been operating for 6 years. I'm getting ready to launch a franchise. Okay, so that's what I'm into. And so the question I have for you, Russell, I had to write this down. Let me pull this up real quick.
Halloween Town, like, is it like Halloween time you go in and buy all the costumes and stuff?
No, so it's funny because everybody's been saying that. I might have to change the name. That's Spirit, Halloween Spirit. So Halloween Town is a pumpkin patch, and it's for kids 2 to 8 years old. So we do carnival, pumpkins, all
awesome.
just fun stuff for kids, like a Disneyland. So the question is, because I'm kind of like, obviously I know the business, but now I'm launching something new. And so if you had to start from zero tomorrow, no list, no audience, and let's say you had $1,000, what exact steps would you take in the next 30 days?
Well, first off, congratulations, because selling a business opportunity is the easiest and the best thing to sell on the planet. Me and Dan Kennedy have a book coming out really soon called Selling Opportunity, which is all about like how to take whatever you're selling and turning it into an opportunity. Because when you're selling a business, you're selling money at a discount. So it's like the easiest thing to sell. It's the best thing to sell. So I would think that's easier to sell than trying to get people kids to come to an actual pumpkin patch. Like that seems easier. So so that's exciting for me, for you.
Thank you.
But I mean, my playbook's pretty simple. You know what I mean? Like step number one is like, how do we craft an offer? And I'm not sure, are you doing franchise for sure? You're gonna do licensing? Have you decided the path?
Yeah, so franchising for sure. I did look at licensing, but I've partnered with someone that's very, very good at franchising. So I'm just going to go that route because you can kind of get into some messy stuff down the road, I've heard.
So, I mean, and then I know there's franchise law with stuff you can and can't say. So putting it through the lens of like, I have no idea what franchise law actually is, I would still come back and like, how do you create a really, really good offer, right? I'm assuming with the business you have right now, how many locations? Do you have one location, a couple locations?
We have 2 in Phoenix and 4 in Las Vegas.
What's the average amount of revenue that someone would make if they were running one?
Profit or gross?
Profit.
Probably around 150 to 200K.
Does someone have to have an existing pumpkin patch, or is this anybody can?
Anybody. You can have an existing pumpkin patch. You could own a piece of land. You could never have done this ever in your life.
And this is all just happening in the Halloween season. So.
Yep. Yeah, and that's I think that's the attraction. That's what pulls people in, is the ability to be able to do something that's seasonal, and then just not have to do it. So it's like
Just remember, you're not selling them a franchise. You're selling them the results of what the franchise does for them. Have more time, have your own business, make more money. You're selling the results of the franchise, not the franchise itself.
Yeah, and that'd be it. I mean, I'd be creating an offer. For me personally, I would write a presentation because that's the easiest thing, and then I would even spend that $1,000. I'd be other than the ClickFunnels account so you can post the pages. But other than that, I would just
do some reels.
Yeah, I mean, there's organic traffic, but also saying like everyone's default when they start a business is to like go buy Facebook ads or things like that, which is in theory a great thing. But like we didn't buy our first ad for ClickFunnels for 2 years. Like we were over $10 million in sales before we invested in our first ad. Like there's just better ways to get traffic. There's easier ways. Like I'd be looking for partnerships. Like who are other people that have not so much like a franchise, but they have, like the kind of person in my mind who would do something like that. Like I can think of 100 different industries. Like Joe McCall teaches people how to buy land, like just buy pieces of dirt. Like he'd be a great person to do a thing with. Like you just got your guy to buy some dirt, now throw some pumpkins on it, right? There could be another industry where it could be, homesteaders who are doing their own homestead. Like that's a whole market with a huge audience. There could be homeschooling families. Like there's a whole huge
Corporate
market.
executives work a lot of hours, maybe make six figures, but work a ton of hours. Maybe they want their own thing. That would be good. Find somebody that has a big list of corporate executives, partner with them, like an affiliate deal.
There's so many of those. And I would just go out and like try to get on those podcasts, get on their email list, doing a webinar with them. Like I'd be pounding the pavement and save your $1,000 and just to get those, because those you only pay after the sale's been made, and it's unique content for the content creator because it's an interesting business. It's different. Most content creators are looking for content. And so if you come in like, hey, I'm helping people start businesses where they throw some pumpkins and make a yearly income in 30 days. Can I talk about your podcast? Like, that's unique and interesting. Yeah. And like, I'll even pay you 20% of the franchise fees or whatever. Like you can get deals like that all day long. And I would do that before I went and gave Zuckerberg money because he's smart enough. He knows how to get all of our money in every campaign eventually.
Who's somebody in your industry that's already done the thing you're wanting to do that you feel like this is the OG, the master?
So specific to events?
But just, your type of franchise.
Yeah, I mean,
or something somewhat similar.
There's really nothing. That's the problem. I mean, it's not a problem, but my concern is there's really not anyone doing this. And so if I kind of look,
well, something that's seasonal, maybe they do Christmas lights. I mean, there's different things.
So yeah, there's definitely. There's people that they franchise events. So
you want me to give you a really shortcut to success?
Sure.
You need to go find that person and hire them. Okay. So you can learn from their mistakes. You don't make the same mistakes themselves, unless you want to spend a decade going through trial and error. The quickest way to success. Smartest people in the world don't learn from their mistakes. They learn from other people's mistakes so they don't make the same mistakes themselves.
You're right.
Instead of going through a 10-year learning curve. That's what I'd do. I'd go borrow funds. I'd hire the person who's mastered the thing you want to do and go hire that person and learn the ins and outs. Because what's the biggest reason why a business fails? Because they don't know what they're doing, right? And they're kind of guessing. But if you know exactly what to do, it's kind of hard to fail.
So can I, just in addition to that last question,
real quick, because you got 5 people
Okay.
behind you. They're starting to look angry back there.
So you've built a massive following and a loyal community. What's the one thing you did that most people overlook when building like a tribe or a following?
I cared a lot. Most people are doing it because they want to build a tribe. Like I legitimately love my people and like legitimately care, legitimately I had an exit 4 years ago. I'd be independently rich for the rest of my life, and I said no because like I wanted to serve these people. Like that's I think the difference is people are doing it for as a marketing tactic versus like people who are like I'm actually obsessed with my people and I want them to be successful.
People can tell.
It's a weird hack, but it's that's actually the truth.
Let's take one, maybe 2 more.
All right, Russell. I'm curious to know what you think the impact of LLMs will be on ClickFunnels or things of that nature moving forward. Like, how do we prepare or adapt?
Yeah, it's very interesting problem to solve. I think a lot of us are all playing with it and figuring it out. I think the thing that's most exciting for me is because funnels are like right now they are a thing. There's pages, but funnels is a philosophy, right? Like you're taking somebody. I think what gets me most excited about the future and like where things are going is I always talk about like one-to-many is hard because you can't talk to each person individually, but with AI we actually can, right? Like right now we're doing some tests with I have a personality profiling company, so we take personality profiles and we're testing now where someone will come in and they'll come into one of our pages and we can rewrite the page on the fly based on who they are. Like, hey, this person's an Enneagram 3, whatever, they're a high D, low I, like write the headline for something like that, rewrite this thing. So like we can start changing the pages based on who the people are when we know about them. And I think that'll continue to go, but I don't think it'll be pages in 2 years from now. It's going to be, but it's still conversations, right? So funnels, the psychology of funnels won't change. The mechanism, what they look like might be different. And I think the power behind them will be a lot better because we'll be able to literally, it comes back to the principles like we talked about, right?
Yeah.
And so for me, like those are the questions we're asking a lot of companies, like what does this look like? What's the front of it? How do we get, so I don't know exactly what it looks like, but those are the things I think that are powerful about it. It's just no longer are we talking to traffic. We get to talk to like the specific person based on who they are, what they believe. And it's fascinating. We're seeing right now just in customer support, like our customer support AI agents are beating humans half the time. They're saving more sales, increasing people. It's crazy where things are getting to. And I think when we start looking at like funnels aren't just here's the pages in the funnel, but it could be chatbots, it could whatever that it morphs into in the next little bit. But the strategies, the principles are the same. So I think it's an exciting time.